is Colombo City Center. This project got started around in 2014, where we purchased this land. And kind of an interesting story behind it is this land was initially a tea farm, tea factory actually, of 10 acres around this plot, right in front of the Beara Lake. The earlier shareholders kind of got defunct in this, and then the government purchased this land and then auctioned this thing. So this was a prime property in the heart of the city, running across north-south of Colombo. So everybody passing out here has to go through this center. Colombo City Center is unique in a sense. It's the first real mixed-use project. The reason why I say mixed-use project is the first one to come on the stage is you do have one golf face, which is also mixed-use, but it is a three different buildings done it. This is an asset which is one standalone building, which all the three components built into the same tower. Very typical in South Asia. You see such developments in Dubai, you see it in Singapore, Kuala Lumpur. So this is the first, that is how this was conceived. We also have a very beautiful view. The view is unparalleled out here. You have the view to the west, you have the view to the city, and then you have view to the north of the city. And plus it is one of the product which kind of sells a unique lifestyle to people. That's the whole concept of Colombo City Center, was that we sell lifestyle and not just a product, where a person kind of enjoys and precious his time can live here. So he can save the time to do his shopping, he can save his time to do his kind of socializing, he can do his work out here, and so that's the whole kind of thing, that you have everything out here and you don't need to get out of this place. First of all, as I said, it is a mixed-use asset, so that it itself has its own complexity of building these three assets. Even if you have three assets, we have thought in a long-term basis and made sure that these three assets can function independent of each other. So each of these assets have their own electrical, the mechanical, and everything fall back. The fire safety, everything is kind of has own individual thing. So it is kind of disconnected, still connected out. So that is the unique proposition we have. The design is unique because we had the Adler and Gensler who actually designed these buildings. So these are the Singapore architects who are world-renowned architects out there, and who has brought out this facade and the design to this building basically. Third is, if you look at it, we also have not normally you would see the parking levels situated in the basement of the thing. Now this kind of being near the lake, and we found that the site is not really suitable to go below the basements and things like that. So we has used a much more creative way to build this parking level above the mall, because it gives a different perspective that people come out, park, and then walk into the mall directly. Those are the things. So we have a unique view, we have a unique proposition of having a mixed-use asset, and with the latest construction technologies having used in this building. We are still working on our Q3 kind of a 2019 kind of timeline. There is maybe some setback because of the recent kind of incidents which has happened in this country. We still are trying to make sure that we do not minimize the delay impact on the thing. We are proud. I think we still trying to say that we are still proud to be one of those developers who are still keeping up the timeline to finish this project and hand it over to the resident, though we have both commercial and financial impact on this product. So we're trying to make that sure that customers don't suffer because of these. Yes, it's come down, especially from October, November, when the rupee kind of depreciated. We have seen the dollar upswing, and because of that, the affordability of this unit has gone up by 15 to 20%. And then we had next impact was the VAT, which came on the 1st of April, which again has put a 15% dampener on the product. So these two, and then the third one is now the recent thing. So these kind of macro economic impacts on this product has kind of brought the observation that we still do about two to 2 units to 3 units a month. That's what was the trend till April. Uh, Hopefully, we will be picking up again. We think that customers are again making the inquiries. We are confident that by end of this quarter, we should able to kind of bring back the trust and the confidence in people. One of the things which people are now talking is more about the security aspect of the product, basically, because everybody is concerned about that, which is quite understandable in this market. And so we have, again, we are re-looking at reviewing our security aspect. We do have our basic things done in this product, where we have video cameras, we have access control, we have fire alarm, we have panic, we have a PA speaker. So all those basic things we have it, but we are looking at re-looking at it, the entrance, the exits, whether we can have a more automated way of guarding these things and not do a manual checkup, which has been done right now. So we are looking at some of the technologies and equipments to handle those things. It is pretty dreadful. Anywhere the real estate product having a tax is kind of because first of all, a real estate uh, is a immutable property. So having any kind of a tax is not, because you already have a capital gains tax when you do the transaction. So having another indirect tax imposed out is difficult. So GST even in India has not been taken well. A lot of developers have come in, because what happens is when you do the project planning and financial viability of a product, you don't consider these GST impact or the VAT impact, basically. And then suddenly when the ongoing project has these impacts, then it kind of puts the whole product upside down. So this has a huge impact, and hence even we have requested here. I think even Condominium Association of Sri Lanka has also requested the government that ongoing projects be kind of taken out of this VAT implications, and maybe the new project where they can do a full feasibility of these products and then get onto this thing. But I strongly protest against any indirect like a VAT or a GST impact on real estate product. It is not good for the industry. We have sold about 70% of the units out here in this product. We have who's who in this thing. Pretty much it is 60% of 60 to 70% are our domestic buyers, and then we have another 40% who are expats who are bought from outside the industry, basically. As I said, we try to keep the delay, to minimize the delay impact. There has been past, we have been trying to monitor our kind of construction progress of the product. There has been kind of slight design changes in the product initially when we had the mall and everything, and that has shifted the timeline, basically, initially, and that has kind of also kind of shifted the timeline for residential and the hotel. But maybe like from last 18 months we have been on track to keep the schedule on time. So the customer profile, basically, when the customers are there, they love the quality, because there was nothing called a CCC before this launch of the mall, and so they were not able to perceive us what quality of product we are bringing into the market. But after seeing the mall, seeing the aesthetics, seeing the finishes, seeing the international quality, and the technology and equipments we have brought to the mall, they are kind of pretty complacent about the product. So they know that they are going to get a very premium luxury product, but they're concerned about the timeline. And I want to assure here is that the timeline is, we are trying to minimize this thing. There has been events which is just outside the developer's control, and we're trying to bring that back into the. Yes, we do have a model apartment. It is on the first floor of the mall, right on the west side of the mall. So anytime between 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., you can visit and look at the show suite apartment. Basically, what Sri Lanka is seeing is a burst of condominium apartments. It is at a very nascent stage. I feel it. This is a lot of apartment development has happened in the last 5 to 6 years, and people are not yet thrilled to live in an apartment. So that mindset has to change first, because people are living in a single owned house, and they've kind of have not yet got that perception. Most of the apartments, even completed and occupied, are used by expats. So I would suggest that Sri Lanka needs to embrace, and there has to be a culture developed for people to kind of move towards apartment. Because if you look at any other city, developed city or ongoing developed city in South Asia, or even in US like Austin and things like that, people, the millennials, want to enjoy everything in the central city, and once you start living in the central city, you don't want to go outside the city, and the only way to do it is a vertical development there in the city, so you can't have anything. So that is one change which I feel is required, that people embrace the vertical development and start kind of appreciating it. Second would be is looking at the mortgage market. I feel that is kind of not very conducive here, because if you look at it, there's restrictions on the mortgage market. There is a restriction on the amount of loan, the amount of interest rates, the kind of support expats or diaspora community gets to fund his product from outside his income outside Sri Lanka. So there's a lot of restriction from central bank and local authorities and things. So I think that is something which Sri Lanka needs to, because the mortgage market develops and the real estate develops. So it's a huge plus point there, both for the Sri Lankan economy in general and for the real estate market.